everyone and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be doing a little review of the Jeffree Star Cremated palette. So I'm going to start off by swatching all of the gorgeous shades in this palette, and then I'm going to show you how to create this eyeshadow look using the Cremated palette. So there are all of the gorgeous shades in the Jeffree Star Cremated palette. I'm going to get all of them swatched now. I'm going to be starting with this row here and then working my way up to this row at the top. So there are the first 6 shades swatched. So starting at the top, we've got shade Hearse, we've got Angel of Death, we've got Gravedigger, Death Certificate, RIP and Pallbearer. And I think that's probably my favourite shade on this row. Look at that really gorgeous glitter shift in Pallbearer. And then that is the next 6 shades, so getting a bit lighter than the first row. So starting at the top, there is shade Inheritance, shade Wednesday, shade Mortuary Beautician, Last Look, Solemnly Swear, and The Morgue. And those 2 shimmers have swatched really gorgeously. They are so buttery. And there are the next 6 shades. So starting at the top is shade Mausoleum. We've then got shade Embalmed, Eulogy, Life Insurance, Last Respects, and Goodbye. So another really lovely range of greys. And also this one here is almost like a little gold shift to it. That is gorgeous. And then on to the last 6 shades. So a much lighter colour story in this part of the palette. So we have got shade Obituary, shade Burial Gown, shade Afterlife, Casket Ready, Death Blow, and Diamond Ashes. So really good range of some really quite light, soft, neutral shades all the way up to those really dark grey and into that pure matte black. So that was all 24 shades of the Jeffree Star Cremated palette swatched. Let me know if any of those particular shades really stood out to you. I know some of them have really called out to me from swatching them. So now I'm going to show you how to create this eyeshadow look, of course using the palette, and then I'll just be giving you some final thoughts and overall reviews at the end. So of course, again, this is the Jeffree Star Cremated palette, and first of all, I think the packaging is pretty cool. So opening it up, you've still got the kind of see-through plastic here of the word cremated, and then the actual palette itself looks like this. And then it has got 24 really beautiful looking shades. So this is actually the first time I'm going to be using this palette, so it's kind of like a eyeshadow look slash first impressions. So the first shade I've actually decided to go in with is shade Wednesday, which is a really nice grey matte shade. You would have seen it swatched and it's just really, really pretty. So I just want to start that off on the outer part of my eye and kind of do this V shape, and then obviously get that blended out. So this shade of grey is actually, well, it's unsurprisingly very pigmented, and it's a really, really pretty shade actually. I must admit, when I first saw this palette, when it was first released, I wasn't really that fussed by it, but after receiving it in my Halloween mystery box and really having a closer look at the shades in here and the colour story and all the really gorgeous metallics and shimmers, I must say I do actually think it's a really, really gorgeous palette. So I don't want to go all the way in to my inner corner. I do want to keep this on the outer part and kind of top part of my eyelid, but I think that's really nice. I just need to get that buffed out ever so slightly, and then I can do the same for my other eye. So I've got shade Wednesday down on both eyes, and as expected, it's laid down really nicely, really pigmented. Next, I'm going to buff a slightly lighter grey shade in with this, and I'm actually going in with shade Life Insurance, which as you can see is quite a bit lighter. So for that, I have got a bigger brush, and I literally just want to buff this out on the edges just to soften them up even more. Well, this grey is really pretty as well. See, it's added quite a nice softness to the darker grey shade. Now I've got Life Insurance buffed out on both eyes, I'm going to be going in with this shade here. Very, very dark matte grey, and this is Gravedigger. And I'm just taking that small brush I used first of all again, and I'm going to be popping it right on the outer part of the look just to add a bit more depth. So just a little bit, just kind of on the outer corner and into the crease, just to add a bit of depth and dimension to the look. This is another really gorgeous shade. I was surprised how many different tones of grey you could really get. I've got Gravedigger down on both eyes now, and yeah, I think it's all coming together. So next up I'm going to do a cut crease, and for that I have got my Beauty Bay Eye Base in base 1. So just going to get that popped down on both eyes. So there is that, of course, done on both eyes, and to go over that eye base I have decided to use the shade Diamond Ashes, which is a really gorgeous kind of a grey silver shimmer. I couldn't decide between Diamond Ashes or Pallbearer, but I have decided to go with that. I think the contrast with the dark grey will be really, really pretty. So I've got this flat brush that I've just popped a little bit of setting spray on. I'm going to see how we get on with the brush. If not, then I'll do the classic, just pat it on with my finger. I can already see it's not going on the brush particularly amazingly. It's often the case with these sorts of shades. It's nothing to do with the shade itself, it's just works better with your finger. So I'm just going to go straight in. I mean, look how much I've picked up already. Wow, it's an absolutely stunning shade, and I really like the contrast between this silvery grey and then the darker greys that I've got going on as well. So I will just pop this down on this eye as well, sort out any fallout, and then back to do the under eye. Wow, and I think that shade looks absolutely gorgeous. So all that's left now is to do my under eye, and first of all I'm going back in with shade Gravedigger, which was that darker grey that I used on the very outer part of this look, just to keep the outer part looking quite dark and a good contrast with the really bright shimmery inner part of my eye. So I've just got this small brush again just to pop this on the outer part of my under eye. And then for the inner part of my under eye, I'm going to be using shade Life Insurance, which was that lighter grey matte shade I used to buff out shade Wednesday. Again, just using the same brush. Definitely a really interesting tone to this shade. So just blend that in all along the bottom. And there is the under eye done. So next steps, of course, are just to do my eyeliner and my mascara. Eyeliner wise, I've just got this eyeliner pencil from Primark, and then mascara wise, I have just got my Maybelline Sky High mascara. This is the black mascara. So I'm just going in with the eyeliner just on my waterline for this look, and then in with the mascara. Eyes are done and just the lips left, and I thought it would be rude not to use a Jeffree Star lip product, so I've gone for this Velour liquid lipstick in the shade Wifey. Just thought this deep red would complement the greys quite nicely as well. And there is the final completed look. So I will just give you a close-up of the eyeshadow so you can see that in more detail. And I think this is a really nice, simple twist on a classic smoky eye. I think it's well paired with the red lip. It just makes the look even more bold. So in terms of the overall palette, well, I think I mentioned previously, the packaging is absolutely amazing. I love this look. I don't think I would ever be able to recreate that one, but there we go. I really like the uni carton as well, with the kind of cutout cremated written across the front so you can see just a little bit of the palette. Of course, the shades themselves just look absolutely stunning. I love that there's a really good amount of shimmers and metallics in this palette. It's not just loads of mattes. And I also like that there's a really good range of greys. I mean, we've got an almost white here going all the way up to a pure matte black. So pretty much everything you need for a smoky eye. And more, I think. Obviously got a good size mirror in it as well, as always, which is another plus point. I found that the shades I used were really easy to work with. The mattes were super pigmented, they weren't chalky, they blended really easily, and I know I've used enough Jeffree Star palettes to know what to expect from the formula, and this palette certainly did not let me down. The shimmer as well I used was absolutely stunning. It was just full of pigment and shimmer. I actually did have barely any fallout as well, which, considering I applied it with my finger, I thought was pretty good going. And all of the rest of them I think have also swatched absolutely gorgeously. So I really just can't wait to create more looks with this palette. But I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see me create any more looks using the Jeffree Star Cremated palette, or any other palettes that I own already, then definitely drop me a comment and let me know. I did do my eyeshadow palette collection video a little while ago, so if you want to have a look at that and see what palettes I've got, then I would be more than willing to do a few looks or a little review on them for you, so just let me know. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give the video a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, and if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you again in my next video.